What's up, guys? In this video, I want to talk about make good questions. Look, if you want learn more, you need to listen more, and you need to make good questions. Okay? And how can you make good questions? You can see that is a question, and when you start to think, more answers you can achieve and more questions you have. And you just need to keep doing that. Okay? One advice to you is make a bullet journal for you. In your bullet journal, you can start to write. When you write, your thoughts become more clear. And in your bullet journal, you can start to write good questions for you ask to a leader, to your wife, to your husband, to your kids. Okay, to understand they how much questions do you make to the people, more you can understand the other people. So you start to question more the others and start to listen more, because that way you can understand more the other people. And for make more good questions, or two types of questions: open questions, closed questions, and open questions. Closed questions is when you ask something who the answer is yes or no. Like right now, I am recording a video. Yes. Okay. That finish the conversation. And an open question is like more that. Why are you recording a video? Oh, I'm recording a video because I want to speak fluent. I'm recording that video because I want to achieve my system, my goal of 250 videos, and I believe I will become more good at English. I will become more fluent in English, more clear in English after record 250 videos at English. Talk about the things I want to talk about the things I know. Look, I open myself because your question was an open question, and now you know more about me. You know why I want to record videos. You understand? And you can use that two types of questions to do more good questions. Of course, you can use how, when, why, and what. Four types of forms of questions. And with that, you can extract good knowledge from the people. Start to do that. Ask your wife, hey baby, how can I be better to you? What is the things you most like I do to you? What is the mistakes I am making right now as a husband, as a boyfriend? You know, you can do questions for your kids. You can do questions to your boss. How can I be promoted? What I need to be promoted? I guarantee to you, if you ask to your boss, how can you be better at your job? What I need to do, if I need to work more, if I need to work better, your boss will become more happy. Your boss will become more happy if you show to him you want to become better. And that is a way to get promoted, okay? To build a good relationship with your boss. And that is for everything. Start to think, start to listen the people in your life and start to ask them how can you be better. One good question if you want to learn is to ask to the people, the person you are talking, when uh, when no who no yes uh, what is the most difficult what is the most difficult what is the most hard time in your life, and what do you learn from that? This is a good question for you learn more about the people, for you gain a good advice, because in the hard time of everyone you can achieve a good knowledge, because it's in the hard time we learn a lot of things, because or we learn or we die. In the hard time in our lives, in the dark nights, we need to learn fast. We need to learn more. We need to do more. We need to do things in other ways. In other times, we think we are not capable. But when the pressure comes, we can do great things. We can be better. You can be better. You can be better. So start to make good questions. Ask good questions to the people. Use the questions to learn about them, and use the questions to learn about yourself. Remember, a lot of people says you need to know yourself, and that's right. You need to know yourself. How can you do that? Look, how can you do that? That's a question. With questions, you can start a way to your heart, to yourself. For inside you, you need to use the questions. Remember, philosophers, they ask a lot. Why that? Why that? How that work? Is that ethical? Why? Why? How? How can I do that? How can I do that? Why the things work like that? The children's when we are children's, it's the time in our life we more do questions, and probably it's the most creative time of our children are a lot of creatives, and all the time the children are asking things. How that work, father? Why it's that way, mother? Why? How? When? What? And you need we need to do that more. Ask things. Be curious about all the things around you. Remember, the things around you surround us. All these things was other person who do. So you can do that too, if you want. It's not impossible. Other people, other person do that, and you are capable. Okay? So in this video is that make good questions, ask more. Okay? Ask more for other people and for yourself. Ask more for the nature. Look to the nature and ask why you work like that. How can you do that? Look to the nature. We humans, we can learn from everything. We can make interpretation about everything and achieve a good advice for ourselves. Look to the nature, look to the people, okay? Look for yourself. You can learn from everywhere. We can learn from that. That's amazing. Thank you for watching.